the attorney who's handling the lawsuit against Watson is now representing 12 women. It started off as 2. Now it's 12. He also says there's 10 more that could join the lawsuit. It's getting unreal how this has escalated the last few days. A lot of teams, it seemed like, were waiting to make a move for Watson, including potentially the 49ers. Now this seems like it's going to, like, best case scenario for Deshaun Watson is he clears his name, but it could take some time. Worst case scenario is he might never play again in the NFL. Should the 49ers continue to wait for Deshaun Watson? Who wants to start?
I can start on this one. I'll go ahead. The timing of everything is really interesting because, in my opinion, the way I've always have perceived Deshaun Watson ever since he was at Clemson was that he always seemed like a good person. Of course, this is from afar. I don't know Deshaun Watson personally. None of us do. Just the timing of everything. And you read about the lawyer that's making these charges or that's representing all of these women and how he was friends with the former Houston Texans owner, Bob McNair. It's a really, I don't know how to feel about it, but as far as the 49ers go, I would like for them to follow the situation closely and monitor what's going on. And if Deshaun Watson does eventually clear his name, yes, 100%, they should go after him. But they shouldn't do anything before that. They have to let this whole thing unfold, see what happens, and then reevaluate from there.
They definitely have to wait because they cannot trade right now and go in on that. But I just want to wait till the legal process plays out completely before any decisions made. But you definitely have to wait because these are very important allegations that we have to acknowledge. You can't ignore, and they're not being ignored, at least on Twitter. So that's good.
Yeah, I think the 49ers are in a position where they're pretty much, I think, like the rest of the NFL, they're stuck having to wait at this point because I don't see a team that would be willing to bring this into their franchise, the allegations that are out there into their franchise. So I think they're going to have to wait. Should they continue to wait? I don't know if I'd say that. I definitely would like to see him grab Watson. You know, throughout this whole process, a lot of us were saying that, that it would probably be later in the offseason before Watson would even come to the 49ers anyway. So I don't have a problem with him waiting. So based on your question, I'm going to say, yeah, go ahead and continue to wait and see what happens here between free agency and the draft. That'll help make the decision.
Yeah, it's just interesting. Like if the Niners want to go for Watson and that plan involves not drafting a quarterback, so it potentially could bypass the draft, not take a quarterback, wait for Watson, and then he doesn't clear his name theoretically, and then now you're in a tough spot. That would be the downside there. It seems to me that if Watson is going to clear his name, it's going to take a while. It's not one girl, it's now 12. So that means I think you're waiting a long time. And then like, I mean, maybe it just comes out that it's just a total conspiracy, like what Nick's saying. It's all trumped up by some people who want to ruin his life. That's possible. But if it's not that, if it just goes away because the women sign non-disclosure agreements, like what happened with Ben Roethlisberger, people are still going to remember this about Deshaun Watson. People will still have their opinions about him. And I feel like this particular area, the Bay Area, it's very liberal. And if the Niners were to bring him in and he weren't 100% exonerated and there were still questions about it, or it just went away because of some NDAs, I still think it'd be a hard sell in the Bay Area bringing Deshaun Watson. I feel like it's starting to look like if a week ago, I thought there was like a 45% chance the Niners could get Watson. Now I'm thinking there's like a 5% chance they could get him. Not because I think he's guilty, but just I feel like it would just be really difficult at this point. So we'll see. This story keeps changing hourly.